Alright guys, I'm going to show you how to install a Dakota Digital into your car. If you like my videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can learn more. Alright, today we're going to replace the original dash for a Dakota Digital. And to remove it, we got to remove 3 screws. There's 3 on the top. There's 1, 2, 3 screws. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me take it out. Now we're gonna remove this. There's a bunch of little screws. Just be careful because you can break things easily. Right, now we could take this out. There's 4 total bolts like these. This is the only one you have to take off those plastic pieces to get to. But once you take all 4 of those off, the whole plastic dash part comes off. Once you start removing it, you need to push this tab down for the speedo cable to come off. Then the little pigtail is held in by a bolt, so remove that and it'll just pop right out. Alright, here's the dash. I broke this off and this off with some pliers, and now this can fit. So we're just gonna screw it in, and yeah, that'll be it. Alright, this is for an 87 Monte Carlo G body, and I did a lot of tracing. I copied the circuit board to follow where all the original lights were because I couldn't really find good wiring diagrams. And then I cut into this to try to wire into right here, the Dakota Digital. And I'm going to explain where all the wires come from. Okay, first we got the right plus. So we follow that up, and it was one of the blue wires. There's 2 blue wires that were connected to the switch, which are located in the bottom. It says number 8. I used one because I put a voltmeter to the ground and to each of these wires, and I only really got a signal from one of them. I don't know why there was 2 on there, but it works with just one of them. I saw a video where someone put 2 of them. That might be the correct way, but I just used 1 wire. And then same with the left, that one's next. And we trace that up, and it's a light blue wire located next to the dark blue, which is number 6. All right, now we go to the high. And that's this one right here. We trace that back to right here, and it looks like a light green or maybe a green, and that was located on the top part, and that looks like number 12. All right, next we go to the brake negative. I'm not sure if I got this one correct, but we followed it up. And same thing on this one. We had 2 wires coming out from the brake light. The way I selected this one is to switch the multimeter to measure resistance. One of the wires looks like it was grounded, the other one did not. So I chose the one that was grounded, because it does say brake negative, but we'll see if that works. Okay, check engine. That one I wired all the way from the engine bay, but this does have an aftermarket standalone harness by standaloneharness.com, and he has it labeled which one the check engine light was. So for me, it was like this brown white one, and I just wired it all the way into the cockpit. All right, next one we have the dim. So we trace that one back, and that one's right here. So this is just the light switch, and we go to the back of it, and it looks like a black or dark brown wire, and this one was easy to find. You just put your multimeter one side on ground, the other side on the back of here, and you can pin around to see which one's gonna work. But you basically put it back here and then turn on the light, and when it goes, if it changes the value to like 12 volts, that's the one you want. Because dim, it's basically letting you know when you turn on the lights, you know, so the dashboard knows, so it can dim. All right, now for the left side, we got the fuel. For the fuel sending, I only used one wire, and I was able to trace it back to this pink wire, and it happened to be on the bottom, and it is number 4. And that one I found by tracing the circuit board. That one's the only wire I found that was going to the fuel. All right, for the switch, this one is pretty easy because it gives you instructions in the manual, which is red and green on these two and black over here. That's exactly what I did right there. So not that bad. That one was easy. All right. Now we go for accessory power. I wired that up to, if you go behind the dashboard, there's this pink wire, and the pink wire is for accessory, and same thing, you can figure out which one that is by using a multimeter. And that one you want, as soon as you turn the key, you want it to turn to 12 volts when it's on, but if it's off, you don't want any voltage going to it. So that's how you find that one, and you could poke around and stuff, but I think GM basically has a similar wire, or you can see it back there. It's on the back of the steering column. Is that pink wire? All right, constant power. So that one has to be on all the time, and I just traced that one back to this orange wire. This orange wire and this red wire both have constant 12 volts going to them. So I just picked the orange ones, but both of these work. And finally, ground. Ground, I'm pretty sure you can ground to any metal, but I just used the same ground that was on the harness, the original harness, which I got from pin number 9. And that's basically how you wire a Dakota digital to a G-body. And then that's just the dash part. If you want the engine, you can fill out those, or we got this fancy thing right here, but it plugs directly to the OBD2 port, which we got right there, and it gets all the readings for, you know, your oil, water, all that stuff. So it makes it a lot easier. And that connects back here. So now we got all the engine data we need, and we connect, this looks like an Ethernet cord, all the way back to the gauge cluster right here. And that's how it's able to display it. And now that we hooked it all up, we are gonna have to go through the settings and program them, and we're gonna use this switch to do all that. So yeah, let's clean this up a bit and do that. To confirm everything works, you just read instructions manuals on how to tune it. And this thing, it's called the BIM-02. It goes into the bus interface module for OBD2 vehicle interface. This makes life so much easier, and this is how you set it up. It basically tells you your instructions right here. You read them. It's not that much, it's not that hard. But yeah, this you can set up everything: oil pressure, temp, speed, RPM, and it all goes by pretty quick. And after that, everything should work. So I'm gonna start putting it back together now. And once it's done, it should look like this. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.